I just got more of the story. Jasmine helped her chop some trees, and she paid her in peaches.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
She's given us a bag of peaches before. Like, she just dropped them on the doorstep. I love how you just knew she had buffy black hair.
Well, that's an Effie thing, isn't it? Just don't say anything racist.
You might be.
Like you normally do.
Yeah, could you just tone it down?
Are we live?
Well, that's...
Who knows?
Who knows? Let's see. It does look like we're live.
There was a brief discussion saying we've ditched the pre-game or not, just that we're not doing what you pumped up for.
Oh, yeah. We're very rarely pumped up.
We decided that didn't work for the entirety of season 3. Season 3's an anomaly.
You can actually hear us, Vardy. Is that true? That's good.
So, yep.
It's good
Screen.
to be back.
The stream doesn't look very good. Oh, look, a comment came through. Oh, my God. Is this actually going to work?
What time are you calling Michael? How's that working?
I don't know, Ben. Live. Stop talking about how we're doing things. Live.
It's very stressful, Ben.
I have
Too many questions.
Great. I've got a sheet.
Uh,
I've got a small sheet.
Lauren, I'm too close to your screen. It means I'm going to get distracted by it.
Don't look at it. Turning it this way. Stop looking.
All right. It's good that people can hear us. That means it's working. It looks a bit bare bones this time around, but it's going to get better.
Oh, we're here. Okay.
The screen doesn't look great, but
I better not scratch my nose too often because I just saw that on the replay.
look a bit dodge. The remnants from last night.
Oh, bloody hell, Sam.
I just sent you a link.
Thank you.
Hopefully that works. I've never done that either. Hey, Kate. Hey, Adam.
Might have to cancel the pod. I've got no space for my mouse.
No. You can't use
You have to use the trackpad.
No, I don't like the trackpad.
Neither do
It
I.
is a touch screen, though, so
Really?
that helps.
Trackpad's great.
That's right.
You just haven't had a good one. That's the problem.
No, it's just
rubbish.
Nah.
yeah, I agree with Ben.
Look at this. It's like this trackpad's almost as big as your screen. It's brilliant.
Well, maybe he has a slight point.
Just use your finger to move.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
Yeah, Josh, it's going to get better. This is bare bones. Won't go into details, but it's been very stressful getting this to work today. Actually, it worked really easily, to be fair. Prep work I did actually did work. And it appears... I don't like how this video looks, though.
Guys, this is the equivalent of a sound check when you go see a band. You're just like hovering around in the background waiting for us to start.
Yes.
I mean, we did say we're starting at 7, I guess, but we're just gonna run through a couple of songs just to make sure everything sounds okay.
Were my headphones still in the box?
I can put round corners on.
them out, but
Can you grab
need-
Ben's
They must have
headphones
been
out of the
Lauren's.
box?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you mean that?
No. Did I touch it?
Yeah.
How? I was over here.
Oh, your
The
chips.
text noise.
Don't know how that happened.
Sounds all Crowcast vibes. Yeah, sorry guys.
Shut up. We're using new software, Nuz.
Yeah, come on, Nuz.
It's a break. At least there's no awkward silences. Is Phoenix in the chat? Just kidding, Fiend.
I might take out your chips there.
Oh, that's all good, Dan.
I just scoffed something.
We must be live on your Mike. Is it Micah? Is it your friend that's comments on the show?
Oh, that's my sister-in-law, yeah.
Oh, sister-in-law. Yeah, she just liked a stream on Facebook, so obviously it is working there.
Woohoo. Not very riveting. Mum, shut up. We haven't even started yet.
Fair.
Great. Now, I don't think we should stream to Facebook if my mum can get on board.
Geez, the odds were mean about your draft team's chances.
Oh, really?
It said you had a 19% chance of winning.
What's yours?
I had a 77%.
Where's our logo?
I
haven't
just
got the bloody logo
yeah, 'cause I
on
was
there.
going to do an animated one, and then I didn't get round to
you
it.
put a captain on. Yeah,
I-
something like that.
This is
Assume that will
some second
jump.
rate, not planned.
Yeah,
I'm
it
actually
is.
disappointed you haven't planned this better, to be honest.
Sorry.
Round one.
I wanted to spend all day on it today, and I ended up having to just prepare for tomorrow. I'm sorry.
So yes, got you at 19 to 81%, but he has a captain. You don't have a captain, so that will help.
Nah, Ben's really that wide, Vardy. Your
Oh,
mum,
mum's leaving.
your
she's
mum's
out.
leaving. Yeah.
I've got a weird stripe of light across my face.
Oh, is that?
It's going to annoy me.
All right. Well, I can't.
Do we have an ornament?
This might be a.
Ornamental lamp, the one up there?
I'm too scared.
Ornamental, that lamp?
Yes, please. Oh, it's not even plugged in.
Oh, it's not
This
any-
might
no
be.
longer. Oh, Michael's watching us.
Is he?
Just emailed you. This one?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Like I forgot my water bottle.
Phoenix just said, "Do I have to come down there with my box of spare parts again?"
Yes.
Maybe. All right.
How rude.
This might not be a podcasted version. For some reason, they've changed how Roadcaster shows up in Audition, and it's not how it was before. So that's excellent.
Cool. Well,
It looks like I'm going to have to download some new software to get it to work. These never were there before either. Road Connect.
great.
Yeah.
So glad we figured all this out on the fly on the first episode.
I love it when, I couldn't test this because I didn't have this at home.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Why did we go live while we were doing this again?
Just a test.
I just asked Ben the same thing.
All right. Can people hear Tex? If people can hear Tex, I think we go. Want me to screen capture? Yeah, maybe. I think this is recording, but I
We might need you to
don't
do
know
a-
where.
We might need to do a highlights package, Farty.
Yeah. That's
No, they can't hear the text.
oh, good. Well, that's weird because if they can hear us, why wouldn't they be able to hear text sound? That doesn't make any sense.
Did you hear that one?
That would have been more obvious. Let's see.
Heard that.
Did someone say they heard that? Oh, okay, cool. So it is coming through.
Soldier on, soldier on.
All right. Text sound might have just been quiet. Oh, yeah, cool. That's working. Yeah, sweet. I was going to say,
All
if
right.
they can hear us, then there's no reason that shouldn't work. All right. Should we just get this shit? Oh, now Ben's
Now
gone.
Ben's fucked off. Great. Oh, can this be any worse? Now I'm just actually annoyed.
Ben's getting his drink.
Nah, we're good.
Oh, Michael, our special guest, is already watching. So
Is he?
he's like,
Oh,
fuck,
great.
what the fuck have I
What
signed up
is
for
this?
here?
What actually is this? Hopefully he's... has he clicked on that link yet? He won't... He can sit in the green room,
Yes,
apparently.
I've let him know how it all works.
Another thing I haven't tested, so
Yeah.
that should work well.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's all fine.
Do we have time to watch Survivor? No, you don't, Quirky, and there'll be no spoilers in the chat. Thank you very much. What's the episode number?
0.
Oh, yeah, but generally?
Oh, actually, I've got no idea.
I know Ben knows these things. All right, Ben, we're ready when you are.
Oh, I was expecting you to start.
All right.
Things are kind of working how they were meant to.
All
Really.
right, great. Press the button. This is start. G'day, welcome to episode 0 for opening round of Here We Crow for season 2025. Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
We are thrilled to be back. Clearly, as you could tell from the the pre-record live testing that we've just done. Yeah, it's great. We're just so excited.
To be fair, it is actually working how it's meant to.
Yeah. Look, we have we've chosen to use some new software, so Sam is testing it on the fly. So just bear with us for this one, but we should have it ready to go for next week.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sam, hi Sam.
Hello,
welcome.
Lauren.
And hey Dan.
Hey, hey, hey.
And hi Ben.
Evening, Lauren.
The OG4 back once
Yeah.
again.
How exciting.
Thanks so much for joining us. Look, it's been an interesting summer for the Crows, and we can't wait to talk all about it. It is episode 0 for opening round, or 109, I believe, Ben. Is that correct?
109 is correct.
Excellent. Coming up tonight, obviously there's a lot going on. We are going to get into our 2025 season predictions for the AFL season. Plus, we'll obviously go over the Crows preseason and everything that's happened. There's a few things going on. We do have a prize to give away, so we'll let you know how to enter that. We are giving away a double pass to round 1 versus St Kilda. Thank you very much to the Adelaide Crows for giving us that to give away. And we have a special guest tonight, Michael Chamberlain from the Junktime AFL Podcast, comedian, Adelaide Fringe show. It's happening this weekend. He will be joining us a little bit later to talk about the season ahead. Let's get on with it. Ben, give us those 109 stats.
Alrighty, so my segment didn't get cut over the summer, it seems. So
Careful.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a close run thing, but I'll try and make it work. So debut player 109,
Andrew Crow.
So you can see that Dan's sitting next to me, yes. It was Andrew Crowell. 44 games between 2000 and 2003. Apparently on his first training session, he was offered to train before he was drafted. Apparently he'd had a pretty good off-season in terms of not training a lot, had just had bronchitis and then collapsed after the 6K run. So, But we still drafted him, so there you go. In 03, he did his ACL, I think, and that ended his career. He went off to work in a panel beaters for a while. He came back to the club, did a bit of ground announcing by the sound of things, and then he went on to the AFL Foundation ladder program. Anyone heard of that?
Do you say ladder?
No.
Ladder, no. Apparently it's the official charity of the Players Association. So
Okay.
a lot of the players put some of their earnings into that, and it seems to be about sort of mentoring 16 to 25-year-olds and giving them opportunities and that sort of gear. So
Okay.
there you go. And then from there, he has gone up. He's currently with the Brisbane Lions.
That's what I heard last year.
Yeah. David Noble went up there and he decided to get him to come along as well. So he is now their personal excellence and wellbeing manager.
Right.
Cool.
So don't expect such a in-depth thing for most of our players coming forward.
Great.
Now, I know that was just your anticipation to talk about season 2009. So, minor round
Bring it
finish.
on.
Where do we think we finished?
Guys, is this the quiz? Sorry, Ben. Is this the start of the quiz? Where did we finish? 2009.
Needs no introduction, the quiz.
14th.
12th.
5th.
Oh,
What year are we talking?
2009.
Thanks again for keeping that
Come on,
concentration.
Josh.
Session, yeah.
Well, Josh has just put 5, but I don't know if he's a bit late.
Yep.
I don't know.
No, well, I'll give it to him. So,
No, he's pretty good. We'll
Uh,
trust Josh.
club champ.
I'm going to not answer because I looked at your screen. So.
Simon Goodwin.
No,
I don't know.
slightly left field.
Oh.
No, I
Vince.
don't know.
King
was
of Sainsbury.
It was
King of Sainsbury.
It was Bernie Vince. So there you go.
I stole it from Josh.
Well done, Josh.
All
Oh,
I'm suddenly a lot less impressed. So. Leading goal kicker.
Scott Hodges.
Trent Henschel.
Poor pleasure.
It was the Porpoise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
57 goals,
Oh, yeah, he couldn't miss.
20 behind.
Yeah.
So,
Excuse me, Ben. Next time you're going to mention the porpoise on the pod, let me know to bring the cardboard cutout.
Okay.
Didn't he kick a record amount of goals in a row or something?
Possibly. He was a very, very good kicker.
Yeah, he
He
was.
also did his shoulder record amount of time.
Yeah, that's right.
and
Pretty
he-
sure the tape was the only thing holding that in.
And he did finish only 2 votes behind Vince in the club champ. So
Yeah,
it was
right.
pretty close to
Yeah,
getting
right.
that. Brownlow vote getter.
Rashido.
No. No, you're all slow. It was Vince again. So,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yep.
of course,
Should
yeah.
have just said that,
13.
actually.
So we did make finals. We finished 5th. We had 2 finals. Do you remember who we played in the elimination final in 09?
Port.
St Kilda.
Essendon. I feel like I've got to start guessing. So we won that by 96 points, smashed them. Poor Pleasure kicked 5, Tippett kicked 4. Now, for the semi-final, 09, semi-final. Anyone?
West Coast.
Collingwood.
Collingwood. So this was the lost by 5 points. This was the game.
Is it Jack
We-
Anthony?
Yep, that's
Oh.
the one. This is the right in front of me game. So, yep. So dubious hold against Rutten on Jack Anthony. Fortunately, we've never had another close game against Collingwood with dubious umpiring decisions
Lucky.
ever.
Oh,
Is that it?
I was overseas that year. Now, that's why I didn't know anything.
That's me done.
Must
yes.
have
I
been.
feel like Ben's sarcasm just went over everyone's head.
I wasn't listening.
2009 wasn't a year where I was paying attention to the Crows.
I think
really.
it did. I think you're right, Dan. Yes.
It's one of the years where I
I
kind
don't
of
feel like
dropped
these
off
two are
the
giving
footy.
it credit.
Yeah.
No.
I think
So
I like
we're
our
in
two
conversation.
conversations on the.
Yeah.
Surely they remember the Rankin ran too far and the Dawson smack into their head.
Yeah,
but
no.
apparently not.
They didn't care.
No.
All right,
Didn't
carry
care.
on. Carry on.
Anyway, let's continue.
Wowie.
I think it's time. Let's just get into some
Chat.
Crows chat.
Let's talk about football.
Oh, good.
Footy, it's back.
There's a game on right now, and as a matter of fact, Freo are spanking the Demons. So
Should have put it on
just-
the TV.
for anyone
Except
who
you
wants
would have
to-
been distracted.
Oh, wait. The D's are making us a bit of a comeback. Anyway, Clary's going off, so get him in your fantasy teams. We'll
Is
get
he?
into fantasy a bit later, but
Yeah.
I digress.
Lauren, you specifically didn't have him in your fantasy side, didn't you?
Who's that?
No, she's
Oliver.
got him.
Oh,
I've got him now.
Oh, you
I've
do?
brought him
Okay.
back. I've been doing a lot of reading and research,
Right.
and sucked into everyone who had Errol Goulden and Marcus Bontempelli.
Me and me.
Hey,
But just-
speaking of the fantasy, we actually have 12 spots left in our league. So if you want to be a part of that, can you please let us know? We'll
in
send
fact,
you the code.
jump on right now. Sam's going to drop the code in the chat on YouTube, aren't you, Sam?
what's this?
Our fantasy league
Oh,
needs to fill
yeah.
up.
Yep.
We've got 20
You follow-
spots.
you
We've only got
following?
8
I'm
people.
very distracted, sorry, and for good reasons. All right, we're talking about football.
Name
Let's
one.
talk about
All right,
football.
sorry.
Which game are we talking about first?
I think we just talk about the Brisbane game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had the internal trial
Yep.
match, which we
Which
saw.
could see, but it was very glary.
That is a shocking broadcast.
It
I
is.
just don't even bother, to be honest.
Yeah.
We saw what everyone looked like playing against each other, and that was pretty good. There
Yeah.
was some good moments.
Mm.
And then we obviously went up to Mount Barker to see the Summit Showdown.
Yes.
Another thing we will never attend again.
No. Can we discuss that now?
Can I just
Should we
men-
talk about football first?
Can I just mention a low light of that situation? I ordered a pizza at halftime, and I didn't return to Sam and Lauren until halfway through the last quarter, or the fourth quarter, as it was.
Yeah.
Not the last, but
The last we were there.
that was a long wait.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's coming up in my
we
pads.
ordered our food and we had it within 5 minutes.
Okay, anyway, we're talking about the football.
I just need to come to the defence. I actually enjoyed the evening myself, but
Oh, you did?
each to their own.
No.
That's good.
that
Well,
was-
it's
it's
just
coming up and it's
Didn't say I
definitely in
didn't
the
enjoy
pads.
Sorry.
it's a bit of a crap view, but and shit fight to get up there. But
Yeah.
generally, the Crows played pretty well. We saw 3.5 quarters, basically, of what is going to be our A team, and I think we took it to Port. We definitely took it to them in the midfield. I thought, obviously, Zach Butters had a knee thing that we weren't aware of. That he was struggling on that. Going by the news this week. But I felt pretty good, after that game. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was all right.
The season hasn't even started just on Port, and I'm already exhausted by them whinging about injuries.
Well, they have been kind of crucified in the
Yeah.
injury department in the last
But
couple of weeks.
Everyone has been.
Well,
except
yeah,
us.
except us. And then obviously the Brisbane game Thursday night, which was a much more pleasant viewing experience,
Yeah.
and also a nice little win by the fellas.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that game, Sam? You got anything?
Look, I refuse to get too excited. I got over enthusiastic last year in the preseason, thinking, after the previous year and then a pretty reasonable preseason that we were going to, fly out of the blocks. But
I think preseason matches don't matter
No, they don't.
unless you're playing the reigning premiers and
Yeah.
you beat them. I think that's fun.
yeah, for sure. And I don't think they weren't trying, but obviously they have their priorities are probably elsewhere. Playing
This
the
week,
first
yeah.
game this week, so Thursday night. So
There's a chance it meant more to us than it did to them.
yeah, meant more to Scott to Worrell, didn't it?
Oh, come on. Don't bring that
How
up.
exuberant, yeah.
Oh, God forbid
No.
a man puts his hands in the air.
No,
you just don't
That,
care.
that was a joke. I spoke to Ben yesterday. I was just bringing it up. So
Yeah.
it was funny. People were having a crack at him. No, it was good. I actually, to be fair, let's speak about him. I liked Worrell's role, playing up the ground a little bit more, getting his hands on the ball a little bit more. Whether that we'll see that in the main season, who knows? But that was kind of cool to see. I think that it was the usual suspects really that played really well, which isn't such a bad thing. The new additions look like they're going to be massive upgrades on the players that they've replaced. Neil Bullen,
He was pretty quiet in the first, half.
yeah, but a
Yeah.
massive upgrade on Lockie Murphy.
I was just going to say, Samuel, any concerns that Lockie Murphy was in the extended squad?
I like it when the Crows media team releases best of field, and it was almost like a prep, wasn't it? And I just fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
I think everyone is completely overreacting, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Well, surely he would have played in that game if he was likely to play in round one. Surely. So, but
Why did they take him to Brisbane?
Yeah. Did they take him to Brisbane?
Rochelle wasn't there.
Yeah. I mean,
That's why.
Murphy was on the bench.
Oh, was he? Yeah, I didn't even realise that.
It was
Yeah,
only
right.
because Rochelle wasn't playing.
Yeah.
I don't, everyone's like freaking out, like, come on, people. Like, think about it logically.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's pretty clear that Murphy is not making this side
No, you wouldn't think so.
unless someone's injured.
Cumming did some nice things. Peatling did some nice things.
Let's get on to individuals in a sec. I'll talk about like the game itself, like just in general. I thought we played like kind of rusty. Like we're obviously like it's the first showing.
Yeah, that always happens.
But we were going back to that kind of like fast moving, aggressive attack football where we were taking like shorter options, more aggressive options, and kind of taking the risk on, as opposed to playing it too safe. Which
Yeah, I think that's for me what stood out is that we were trying to get a fast transition to give our big forwards a chance to outcompete their opposition. So whereas last year, geez, it was slow. It was indecisive, whereas now they seem to be playing with instinct as opposed to worrying about doing something wrong.
Yeah, that's it. I thought the defence was like a little bit shaky to start off with. Seemed like Mark Keane's head was up in the clouds for the first 10 minutes of the game. It was like not really paying attention or
I don't think he normally pays attention even in the proper season.
But going back to that, the individuals, obviously Jordan Dawson was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I thought he kind of carried us in that first half, to be honest.
Yeah.
It felt like he was just, chucking the weight on his back and rolling with it.
Yeah.
But, his kicking is just absolutely elite. Like, we've talked about it a million times before, but, that like 65-metre penetrating kick into the forward line to Pedler was just absolutely phenomenal to watch. Jake Saligo, obviously, really good game from him again.
He's had a good preseason.
He has had a really good preseason. He's one to watch. Friend of the pod, Jakey. Isaac Rankin, pretty quiet for his standards anyway, but he did get involved in the game.
Yeah, he did.
I just think like he was probably running at maybe 70% on the night.
He doesn't care about preseason.
Nah.
Matt Crouch.
Matt Crouch. Well, he had the most disposals, but it was only like 25 or something, wasn't
29.
it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mind Crouch's game.
Yeah, it was right.
I thought the first CBA was good. Peatling, Rankin, Saligo in the middle with Sholly and Cheese on the wing.
If Crouch plays, though, he's starting rotation, I would have thought. But he has to be, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Unless they see him as a sub. But I'm not sure about that.
It was good to see those different mixes in there.
Yeah.
And like they were pretty successful
See
against
Cheese.
another strong midfield. Isaac Cummings, Cheese.
Is he?
Yeah. Keep up, people. Sid Draper came
I
on.
thought that was Izzy Jizzy.
Yeah.
I think that's slightly less official.
Yeah. Not sure Izzy Jizzy's the one that they're using around the club.
Speaking of nicknames, I don't like Nibbler. Can we not use that?
Yeah, I'd prefer Nibs. Nibbler's too much of a mouthful.
Yeah, every time I hear Nibbler, I'm just like, nah. We
Because of Neil Bullen. Neil Bullen. Mate,
Were you running that through pre-show?
I think I just had a stroke. Can you?
I'm currently having one.
I was meant to go from Neil Bullen to Nibbler.
Yeah,
but
I
it just
knew what
didn't
you're
come
trying
out.
to do. Yeah, it just didn't work, did it?
You can make that into a button for next week.
And of course, we got to see a really nice run from our high draft pick, Sid Draper, who, how can you not get excited about this kid? Like, he was 39% time on ground. He got 4 centre clearances. So, yeah, that's pretty exciting. I think, is he knocking on the door for a round one debut? You'd think so. It's just whether or not they want to do it, I
I
guess.
just can see the club pissing around with him as sub or something like that.
It'll be
or-
sub 100%.
Yeah.
Well,
We've shown we don't really love just throwing them in. We're scared now.
I think it's fair that we don't just throw him in because he is still young and he's not going to have the tank to be playing a full game of midfield minutes.
Yeah.
Well, it does sound like he's been managed his workload with his back stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm not as phased about it as how we treated like a Curtin last year. Like I think he will get a lot more opportunities. Not a massive bloke like Curtin, so I think he'll get eased in. But I think he'll get a pretty good run this year.
Just on that topic of Curtin, does the club know what they're doing with him yet? Because I can't work it out.
No.
No.
I don't think they know.
so.
It's weird because it was such a high draft pick and they still don't seem to know where he's playing.
I think it's like it must be hard to figure out where he's playing because he is the kind of player that can have a lot of versatility. And at the moment we've got so much depth in the squad. Like it would be kind of hard to figure out where to put him.
I just worry they're a bit lost with him. Like, I don't know if he is, but the club seems to be like, he should be holding down like a pretty major spot in the team, I would have thought. But
yeah, I agree with both Nuz and Vardy in the chat that subbing Draper would be shit, but
I
can
agree.
just see it happening, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can see it happening.
Oh, we know that they don't like doing that, but
No.
I guess it's that thing of like, well, he can come on and debut, but then get subbed off. So if they want to do it that way, would people be annoyed if they did it that way as well?
I think they've shown that they want to be cautious with him because he hasn't he hasn't started any of the games, has he? Did he start? Or he certainly didn't start on the
I don't
on
know
Thursday,
if like the Crows are never cautious with new players. What are you talking
aren't
about?
they?
And
It's pretty much the basis of our entire
Is he going to play?
podcast.
Is he going to play half forward?
Almost certainly, yeah.
Well, he did at the Port game. He was playing half forward for a little bit. So I think we can come to expect that from most of our midfielders at this point.
Well, yeah, we got that many midfielders. No one's going to play other than Crouch when he's not on the bench.
Yeah.
No one's going to be just in the midfield.
I was talking to someone the other day because Pedler was he was drafted as a midfielder as well, and like he's basically never played midfield. And he's going to struggle to ever get a game in midfield.
Well, he's got the tissue arms, mate.
He's going to struggle
does.
to,
No, but
play
yeah,
at all.
to your point that we've talked about before, like he's going to struggle to get a game at all.
Yeah.
Once Rochelle and Rankin and
We can't
Nibbler
kick goals either, so there's no point in playing
I'll just
forward.
worry about again another high draft pick where he's going to end up.
Yeah.
He's probably going to end up dropped.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's a bit of a shame.
I
It
mean,
is.
I think you're calling that a little bit early, to be honest.
Yeah. It is.
Oh, we might be. I hope I'm wrong. But
I'm not trying to sound as negative as I'm coming across. I'm just worried that a guy who was a top 20 draft pick and we got scrutinised for picking him so high is just playing half forward.
Well, again, I don't even...
You concerned, Sam, that you weren't coming across negative enough?
I often do that, yeah.
Well, he's another player that I just don't think even gets a look in, to be fair. Like,
Pedler.
No, and that's
I agree.
And that's kind of the point I'm making. Like he should be like for such a high draft pick.
Yeah.
Kind of. But
No, I agree
it's
with you.
like we've kind of drafted other guys in the spot that he should be playing.
well, yeah, he's just had a shit run at it, really. And yeah, I think your Av has strong opinions on Pedler that he's just not fit enough after 5 pre-seasons. But I do want to kind of argue that he has been injured a lot.
Your Arv is
So
correct.
it's very hard to it's very hard to get fit when you're just constantly battling injuries all the time. So
Yeah.
I hope it works out for him.
And I think it's showing that he's really, really keen to make it work, and that he's almost trying too hard, I think.
Yeah.
And that's where his composure and his execution has really suffered as a result.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can handle him and manage him well enough that he does get a bit of a look in. Now, the last question I have for this Brisbane game, Nankervis or Millerer? Because if you ask me, I think Nank definitely made a case for his spot in the team.
Yeah.
Nank's great. I think he will get his opportunity through Miller's body eventually.
Yeah, maybe. Just say both.
I love both of them personally. Like, I think they're great, but yeah, Miller has struggled to get enough time on the park.
What I want is Nankervis. What I think the club will do is start with Miller.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it would be crazy to not put Millerer in at some point, but
Yeah.
it's also like pretty stiff for Nank.
Josh says both. Can they both play?
Miller. Oh well, if one's off the bench, Miller has got X factor. I suppose Nank could probably play a wing as well,
Yeah.
which helps.
Chase Jones was playing wing quite a lot.
Yeah, again, I think that was just because there was no Shoal and no coming for that Port game.
I think there's a chance as the season goes on, it might be that a Miller and Nank are playing, and some players like a Laird might struggle for a spot.
Buzz
There's
is
a call coming
calling.
through.
Goodness.
I haven't set up the phone yet, Nuz. I told you I'd tell you when to call.
Is that Nuz or someone else?
It was Nuz. But I haven't set up the phone
Vardy,
yet.
did Nank stand Kai Lohmann 5 shots at goal? I didn't know. I didn't know that, but if he was, then he wasn't doing a very good job at defending Kai Lohmann. What other questions have we got from Thursday night?
Ben?
No, I got nothing. I think it was just a really encouraging start, but we'll know round one how well we actually click in the proper stuff
Yeah, absolutely.
against a team that we should be able to comfortably beat
Yeah,
with all their injury
We'll
worries.
talk about
and-
that a
and
bit
whatnot.
later.
So
But yeah, he yes, definitely. Rob, yeah. You mean our new Lord and Saviour, McAndrew?
Rob's going to have a season best. Yeah,
Is he?
Well,
a career
He
best.
looks
year.
fit.
he took a few marks, so
Yeah, he
he looked
did.
like he wasn't just cast iron hands.
Oh, that's loud.
I'm personally, I've decided by virtue of having Rob in my fantasy draft team that I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt this year until proven otherwise.
Yeah. Oh,
I think if we got enough of the other parts of our team working, Rob isn't going to make or break our season.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Hello, here we crowphone.
Hello,
oh shit!
Hello,
It's Mavis.
Mavis.
it's Mavis here. How are you, boys and girls?
Hello, Mavis.
It's been a while. We've missed you.
How's the peach tree?
Give us some hot takes.
The peaches are blue. All the fruit trees are doing really struggling because
Oh.
of the lack of rain. It's not great.
Yeah, it's been
in
a dry
Adelaide at the
summer.
moment.
Mm.
It's been dry. I want to talk about the boys on the weekend when they played.
Oh yeah.
Which ones?
Which ones? Rory Crouch.
Rory Crouch.
Well, yeah, the Crouch boys. He's what I like about Crouch is that when he plays, I can keep up with what's happening on the screen because he's so slow with the ball.
Turning a circle like a Mack truck, you reckon?
With all these young kids coming through, it's hard to keep up with the footballs nowadays. And Matt Crouch just takes it down to the speed in which I'm used to. So I think he's a wonderful addition to the club this year.
We're so grateful to have him.
Yes.
And I like having Rory Laird down the back. He's such a good kicker of the football. he always hits the target.
Yeah, he hit Nick Murray in the face, I think, at one point.
Bit of Brody Smith about him, really.
We need the experience back there because those other young boys just aren't up to it. I mean, I've got to trust what Nick thinks, and if he thinks the boys aren't ready, then we've got to trust that, don't we?
Yep, 100%.
And I think that Sam Draper kid, he's going to be wonderful, but he needs to bide his time. Maybe play him in the SANFL for 20 games, and hopefully he can maybe make a debut later in the season. But if he's lucky.
Sam Draper. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, look, I've got to go back and do some watering now because otherwise all my plants will die. All right. See you later.
Ben knows all about that.
Thanks, Mavis.
Oh,
Good to hear from you again.
Driest summer in
gone.
33 years.
She's gone. Mavis is hung
yeah,
up.
my garden's
Is-
not coping, Ben.
No.
Is Mavis's son still there?
Mavis doesn't know how to hang up the phone.
It's amazing how Mavis is the only person who calls the Crows phone.
Is Nuz still there?
Nuz.
Is he gone?
No, I'm next on the line. Hello.
Oh,
How are you?
okay.
Good. Oh, dude, the switchboard was lighting up, so I thought you must have still been there.
Thanks for
Yeah,
finding
great.
the phone number, Nuz. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I've always got to wait for old Mavis.
Yeah.
Bless
She's always
her soul.
first. She
She
rings.
tries hard.
She rings about half an hour before the show starts, and then you got to wait for us to fluff around with the technology for half an hour, and then
Yeah.
so she's been waiting a while.
Yeah.
I just love how that is the only person that calls in on the phone. I think it's wonderful.
She's calling in on a landline as well.
It is.
The old landline. Oh, look, what do you think of Rory Laird down back? Be honest.
I'm okay with it. I think it was just. I think he was fine on Thursday. I think his kicking can definitely use some work, but I think he's just a bit rusty at the moment. That was my view.
Yeah, well, they're all rusty, aren't they? That's kind of half the point about it this time of year. But I don't know. I think we'll finally know that we've evolved when we can kick him out. The problem is I don't trust that Nick's trust the kids enough to be able to make that call. And we've seen time and time again where he's been a bit more reluctant to try and get kids into the team and the older favourites out of the team. And I'm not sure if you remember, but Tim Silvers a couple of years ago at the meeting at the club. He said, it's now time for the kids to take over their spots, the senior spots, grab them with both hands. And I get what he means. But it also goes both ways as well, because if you're constantly making 25 touches in the SANFL and you're just not getting a debut or not getting a chance, then what's the point of it?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really scared of this year. And I'm hoping that by playing some good football with these 3 additions that we got in Newbullen, Cumming, and Peatling, that will be good enough that we can kind of carry 1 or 2 kids. That's what I really want to see. Like, if Curtin's not quite up to it, that's okay, as long as he's improving on different aspects of his game every week. If we have to carry Ryan for the first 5 games, so be it, because you can see potential in these guys when they play SNFL. It's not like just wanting them to play for the sake of it. Where they're playing good quality football in the SNFL. We just need Nick to trust.
No, I was just going to ask you about, you just mentioned him, Oscar Ryan, and the other one's Charlie Edwards. Where do they sit at the moment? I was surprised not to see either of them feature more in the preseason.
Yeah, I don't know about what Oscar Ryan has to wait. I think Edwards, because he's predominantly been a midfielder and they're looking at trying to have another spot for him and another string to his bow. Like, I can understand that Edwards might have to wait, another 6 months to a year. Which is unfortunate, because at the back end of last year he was doing really well in the midfield. But if he could have 2 strings to his bow, that's, what? He's still very young. He's not even 20 yet. But Oscar Ryan is an out-and-out half-back flanker with an absolute bullet pass, and he's done nothing wrong, and I don't know why he hasn't been given a chance. And I'd be very disappointed to see him not being given any sort of chance in the first 5 to 10 rounds. I mean, I know it's hard list selection wise, but when you watch that kid play, there's something different, something special about him that's, you can just tell that it's going to translate really well to AFL football. And that's what I'm talking about with this mix and the trust. Clearly we're going to trust Sid Draper. Hopefully he's not sub, but we can all see that's going to happen. But either way, he's still playing. So I'm glad that he's doing that, but there's other kids out there that we just want to be able to. This is my main fear, that we start slightly poorly, say 2-2 or 2-3 or 4-5, and then Nick's reverts back to what he knows, and these kids still don't get a chance when they're actually the answer.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we go.
Well, a lot of our better play at the second half of the year last year was on the back of the younger players doing a good job. So.
Absolutely, it was. Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think the thing for me and Laird is he's been moved into a position where we do have a lot of options. So you'd hope that there is pressure for selection and not just guaranteed that this is your spot for the year.
The other thing is that Daddy Nix has actually declared Sid Draper his new son. So Laird is not his son anymore.
Can we not post that photo of the junior side being coached by sitting next to Laird? Oh, okay.
Controversial.
Laird is dead to Nixie.
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
But I'll let you go. It's a bloody exciting time to be a Crows fan. I know I've come up with a bit of the negatives and that, but I just don't want to see the same bullshit that we saw last year. That's what I don't want to see.
We're just being cautious, Nuz. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's way too early to be like doomering about things that could potentially happen, because what we've seen so far is very promising. We've only really seen the kids playing in the games, in the preseason games. Yes, like the Ryan and Cheddar, who you've already mentioned, didn't get a look in, but that's not too surprising. So I'm pretty confident. I'm feeling good about it. I think our midfield mix looks good. I think we could take it. We took it to the Lions. Who
How's your new fancy mic stand going there, Lauren?
Let me talk. We took it to the Lions, who obviously are the reigning premiers, and also were rotating way more players throughout the game than we were. So we obviously played that game to make a bit of a statement on who our team is. And I think nothing to worry about so far.
Are you declaring lids off?
Not just yet.
We'll see.
Give me a couple of weeks.
Brisbane didn't have too many players out, and one team that is ravaged with injuries is St Kilda. I mean, if we don't beat them by 119 points,
it would be pretty surprising if we didn't thrash the Saints, going by what happened over the weekend. But Can't wait. Looking forward to it. And Nuz, you'll obviously be on board with us this year, so we will be hearing more frequently from you.
Absolutely.
Over the course of the season.
Was it you?
I'll be here, don't worry.
Ben's just having a sing. What was that about?
It's got nothing to do with that.
Where did that come from?
Anyway, can you guys hurry up, please? Because we've got the Crowcast in 45.
Oh, right. No, we won't go
Don't wanna
over
cross
Phoenix.
over.
Oh, wow. We can't do that.
No, we couldn't do that.
Crossover episode.
Yeah, that's right.
Phoenix is
I'll
actually
speak to
using
you
our
soon,
gear.
guys.
Yeah.
Cheers, Nuz. Take
Thanks,
it easy.
Naz. Beat you soon.
Catch you. See ya.
All right, and obviously that was the Nuz man who will be joining us over the rest of the year.
I'm pretty
We
excited
got
about
Michael waiting.
We do have Michael waiting, so we're going to get on to some season predictions. But just quickly before we do, I just want to 3 things that have happened to the Crows over the preseason, off-season. Thebarton, it's happening. The
Yes.
soil is being turned over.
Yes.
It's all ready to go. Did you see those spades they got? The custom spades
Yeah, I
to
did.
turn the soil over? Ben, maybe you need to try and get your hand on one of those somehow. Also, we launched our Clash Guernsey, a nice red, very red. It's very bright red. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually liked it.
Yep.
I don't like there's a bit of design weirdness at the top here around the collar. I didn't
Everyone
like that.
mentions the collar. I never notice it.
It just looks messy.
No? Nothing?
Yeah, no, I like it. I think just the same thing Sam said. But the collars are always a bit daggy, but yeah, otherwise it's good.
And then the other thing is the leadership group was announced. So obviously Jordan Dawson is the captain once again, alongside VCs, Keezer, Rob,
Nibbler.
Darcy Fogarty, and Nibbler himself.
Not Nibbler.
Nibbler
Alex
straight
Neil-Bullen.
in.
Neil Bolland.
No, we're calling him Nibbler all the
Oh,
time.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
just on that, Alex Neil-Bullen, I'll tell you what, you should send him out for every press conference. He is
Yeah,
the
he speaks
ultimate
well.
professional in the press conferences. He actually doesn't just trot out the media lines. He actually kind of personalises it and makes it
good.
interesting to listen to.
Similar to Scott Burns, really.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Exactly the same.
Wow.
Anyway, that is what is happening at the Crows, so that's really exciting. Let's get into some season predictions, and we will introduce our guest for the evening.
If this works.
Let's hope it does.
Technological
Is it
miracle. Thank you.
working?
I think so.
Amazing.
Got me okay?
I think so.
I can't see the screen.
He's a bit
Oh, hang
quiet.
on.
There he is.
Oh, look.
G'day,
There we go.
Michael. Welcome to Here
How
We
are you,
Crow.
folks? How are you? How are you?
Can we hear him properly, everyone?
He does seem a bit quiet, doesn't he?
Michael, thank you for waiting all that time.
Oh, that's
You,
okay.
you had to wait. You had to wait for Mavis to talk to us first and whatnot.
It's okay. I want to inspire you guys. I'll talk loudly. I want to inspire you guys. You guys seem a bit down on the Crows.
No, we're good.
I'm not.
We always are.
Was there any chance you saw the start of last season?
I just want to inspire you guys. You can, you get like you talked about Thebarton right there. You get in the new development. You get in the new training area. There is an urban legend that there's an elephant buried under it, but we can ignore that.
That's most of
Surely
Adelaide.
that'll be good luck, right?
But I want to pump you guys up.
We
You
appreciate it,
Crows.
Michael.
Yeah,
Now,
we do.
Michael, you are a comedian and co-host of the Junktime AFL Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us. You have joined us tonight because you do have a great Adelaide Fringe show that's coming up this next weekend. Can you tell us a bit more about your show, which is called The Completely Incomplete History of Australian Rules?
Yeah, so it's a comedy show about the history of Australian rules. So I've done it the last 2 Melbourne comedy festivals, but this is the first time I've got to take it outside of Melbourne, so I'm very keen about doing that. So it's going to be next Saturday and Sunday at Drama Llama, which is below the world-famous Rhino Room. And
Excellent
essentially
venue.
it's 170 years of football history in 55 minutes. So I
Most
go from,
importantly, though, were you disappointed not to secure the footbridge for the performance?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Whenever it's a bit of a running joke when with my friend Adam Rosenbach's about the footbridge is basically the 8th wonder of the world. We've recorded a podcast on the footbridge, and I came over for
Sick.
the Hawthorn Port Adelaide semi-final last year, and yes, did take a knee on the footbridge and pay my respects to the beautiful old girl.
Michael, you may cotton on that Ben and I are quite avid listeners of your podcast. So,
That's very kind of you. That's very kind of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I definitely will pay my respects to the footbridge when I come to Adelaide next Friday for the weekend.
You'll also be interested to know that Sam and I have both had to move a long way from the CBD to buy a house, so we're obviously doing very well for ourselves.
That's another running joke. We talk about how we're doing very well.
I'm full of them. Don't you worry.
Now, Michael, you are a Hawks fan, and you did actually promise you'd be dressed up in the brown and yellow tonight, but
Well,
you
know
have.
what's the thing? Oh, whoa, Lauren. Gold. Canary yellow. There's a great story about, I do find it very funny when people say yellow, but there's a great story about John Kennedy Sr. They were at a jumper presentation, and a player said that he said, it's a great honour to be wearing the brown and yellow, and he could feel a hand on his arm just squeezing his bicep. And he looked over at John Kennedy and he said, gold, mate, not yellow. Gold.
I think we can relate.
I moved back to Melbourne from Sydney about 3 weeks ago, so all my stuff is in storage. So I actually haven't got any of my Hawthorn paraphernalia with me. Like I looked in my cupboard before for like my scarf or a jumper to wear, but it's all in a box in a storage unit. So unfortunately, I can't do it. But I do love the spread you guys have on the table there. I do like it a lot.
Yes, we've gone all out. Now, tell us about your thoughts on the Hawks for this season before we get into some history of the AFL, because obviously the hype is around the Hawks at the moment. They had a pretty good season last year. They, obviously flew into the finals. Everyone was like, what the hell is going on here? Do you think they can back it up this year?
Yeah, I'm genuinely worried about the three-peat. We'll go back to back, but yeah, the three-peat, with Tasmania coming in and draft picks and stuff like that. So I'm wildly concerned. No, I generally, I think I went to the Swans Hawthorn in about round 7 or so, and we got towed up by about 80 points. We were horrible, and I generally just thought, I can't watch this. Like, obviously I was going to, but I was like, they were so bad. I was like, I can't watch this for another 15 weeks. And then it just clicked, and like we probably won, 11 and lost 4 or something, and flew into the finals. And they're playing this incredible brand of football. It was so exciting. And, to win a final, like if someone told me that we'd get to a semi in round 7, I would go, you are clearly on meth. But yeah, so I'm very excited, and the preseason seems to we've at least avoided a few injuries that people like Jagger at Carlton, like that, people falling over in preseason. That.
Yeah, it's terrible.
We've got Barras and Battle and backline and solidify that. Sicily can move forward. Hopefully Mitch Lewis can come back kind of, around 10 or so, just go big bloke and tap it down to the little guys. I feel like if we don't make the finals, at the very least, Nick the Wizard Watson and Jack Ginnivan will get 100,000 more followers on Instagram. So it's a win.
Yeah.
That's pretty much guaranteed to happen, I reckon, Michael. Now, just on your show, the Incomplete History of Australian Rules, I'm just wondering, how did you go about the research, and like how long have you actually taken to get this show together?
Well, funny thing by the fact, like doing a stand-up show, when you do this is a bit of a different story, but I think it's based on historical things. But doing a stand-up show, you're really racking your brains and you're trying to think about why am I saying this and what's the point to it. And doing this show, my dad was always a bit of a historian in terms of he's 85 years old, and so he knows all the old stories, and he was also a bit of a stickler for the facts. Like I remember one day he called up Channel 7 because they said a wrong fact, and he called up the switchboard and it was like, no, Bernie is not the third highest game player. He's the 4th. And the lady on there was like, yeah, whatever, mate. But it's always been in my head. I always loved those stories. And so I just read a lot of books, did a bunch of research. The thing I find remarkable is that Tom Wills, the inventor of the game, he's genuinely Australia's version of Forrest Gump. Like he shows up in about 4 or 5 incredible kind of moments of Australian history, which we never hear about. I talk about the evolution of the game. The first ever game was played in the car park of the MCG. It was the MCG at the time, but it wasn't a car park. It was a horse park. It was the 1850s, and the ground was 800 metres long. The game went for 3 days. Back into the sheds. BT came in and did a chat with the players, and then it just evolved. And the VFA. Formed in the same year as the SANFL. So I'm very clearly aware of the history of the SANFL. I could generally do a show about the waffle, the sandful. This show is essentially about the history of the AFL and how it evolved. How teams, essentially the VFA All the rich teams went up to form the VFL, which then eventually became the AFL. Bringing in Crows and Eagles, and because I genuinely remember watching the first game of the Crows in 1991 on TV back in Melbourne.
It was an excellent game.
It was an amazing game, but the fact you guys towered us up by about 80 points. By the way, we won the flag. But you towered us up. Dermy got 5 weeks for like putting Chris McDermott into Dreamtime. But I remember a friend of a friend was at that game, and he said that the Adelaide fans were rocking the Hawthorn bus after that game, and he was going, "They won. Like, what if they lost?" And then also it was just like this wave of like almost like an army had appeared on the AFL scene, where you're like these 45,000 people, like rabid fans, and also amazing players that we'd watched in State of Origin, had now been on the Crows list. And you're just going, what the hell has happened to football? Like, this is like a mega team that's happening. And I talk about the other teams that might have come in, like in 1925, they talked about bringing in a team called the Public Service Football Club that would have had, people who worked at the bank, worked for the ATO, politicians. We could have had Albo running off a halfback flank. We could have Peter Dutton, although it's very hard to call a player a spud when they look like an actual spud.
Well, our Premier is a bit of a footballer there, Michael. So
the Premier is a footballer. I saw the Premier at the semi-final at the Adelaide Oval when I went and see Hawthorn and the Port. He looked fighting fit. I was like, dude, you could play a game or two.
He can't kick for shit though, apparently. So
they proposed a thing called the LA Crocodiles in the 1980s that was going to be a Melbourne club that moved to LA to play at the LA Coliseum, which fits 100,000 people. And they were going to have them walk around, keeping with the Australian theme. They were going to wear Akubra hats, walking around Rodeo Drive. And the AFL said no at the time, and I think also what they said was the reason why they didn't let them into the league, because these wealthy Australian millionaires of the 1980s, they said, you're clearly on a lot of cocaine. So that's why you're not there.
Fair.
But there are wild stories like the 1945 bloodbath, similar to your 1991 Sandfield bloodbath, where Steve Sims went nuts. Simsy went nuts that day. I truly enjoy doing the show. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, I know Ben's got some questions for you, but I've just got one more. They say that history repeats. What's something that you've learned from the history of the AFL that you can see making its way back in 2025?
Cobras.
The Crocodiles.
I mean, you could say the 1945 bloodbath, Carlton, Sydney, South Melbourne in the VFL, and then the 91 Sandfield bloodbath. Actually are quite similar by the fact that they were basically fights from the second quarter till the end of the game. Like people essentially were bluing on the entire game. I've seen the highlights of the Sandfield final. And the one standout for the 45 bloodbath was the guy called Ted Whitfield. So Ted Whitfield was a bit of a Stevie J character, like kind of a bit flashy. And his little trick from the age of 16 was that he would drink 6 beers before the game and then have another 2 at half time. And in fact, he was performing very poorly at half time, and the coach gave him a bake. And Ted Whitfield said, well, I'm not playing well because they didn't get to have any beer. So the coach sent a trainer out to get 2 beers for him to bring him back and drink it before the second half. But he got suspended for a bunch of things. He tried to punch a goal umpire. He tried to the goal umpire tried to report him, and he lifted up his jumper to cover the number, which is apparently a reportable offence. And then he also got reported for time wasting. But in the end, he got suspended for 15 months and got kicked out of the Swans and was never allowed again to attend a Swans home game. So,
oh my God. So bring back schooners at halftime.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. I mean, and back in the day, they would have been having cigarettes. They would have been drinking port, sherry at halftime, on a cold day. Yeah,
it's crazy
stuff.
Isn't it?
So they'll be drinking hard solos at Adelaide Oval this year. So look out.
Right. Yeah.
There you go. Now I assume, as well as those facts, you paid due respect to the contribution that people like Ricky Nixon and Warwick Capper have brought to the game.
They do both get a mention.
There you go.
Ricky is before the courts at the minute, so I don't know what we can say.
We'll just tread carefully there.
Toot.
Yeah, no, Ricky. Actually, probably, it was nothing bad. It's just he's up for. He stole some Melbourne Demons Premiership footballers autograph.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But no, because one of the things about there's a couple of great quotes about the Wiz, but like the one of my favourites that he said, my sister is about to have a baby, but I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be an auntie or an uncle. So I think that pretty well.
There you go. Yes.
Beautiful.
Now, well, speaking of babies, I've got 3 kids, one young one, so we don't get out a great deal, but myself and my wife are coming to the Saturday show.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
I've promised her a romantic night out. Have I chosen the correct show to come to?
No, you have. It's it's I think the one thing I've actually found about the show, and I generally didn't even think about this when I was intending to do it, is that the youngest audience member I met was 13 and the oldest was 84. So it's like a wide range. It was always equal male or female. And I actually got the impression a lot of times, actually, it was a wife who wanted a bit of an adventure out and brought their husband. and a couple of guys were like, what's this show about? And I'm like, it's about football. And I'm like, oh, yeah, sick. But it is actually a bit of swearing, but there's nothing ridiculous. But, yeah, and one of the cool things as well that I really enjoy is that even if a thing is not meant to be a joke, it's just a fact. And you can see the audience kind of go, wow, or like, oh my God. Like even there was a show last year I did and I gave like the main fact about Tom Wills. I have to give him about, the 4 kind of 5 things that he appears in. And a lady in the crowd was like, are you joking? I'm like, no, it's genuinely true. I'm not making this up. It's just a weird, wide variety of stories. And also about the fact that, if I'm telling a story that's 170 years old, there's a reason why I'm telling the story because it's already interesting. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's been around that long. But yeah, and it's really cool to meet the people who come along afterwards. I met a guy last year who was a mad Port Adelaide Magpies fan, not a Power fan, like Magpies fan. And so it was fascinating talking to him about his experience going down to the Magpies games.
Yeah.
There you go. And I assume if my babysitter falls through, you don't mind a crying baby in the audience?
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
No.
Very good.
I've got a very high, loud, piercing voice, so I can shout over babies.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't think it will fall through. I think it'll be safe.
That's all right. I actually literally have done a gig where, I can't remember having like a baby in the crowd, but I have done a gig. It was basically in a beer garden in Brisbane, and there was a toddler, like just kind of wandered up to my feet, and I was like, okay, and I picked them up and kind of did it for about 10 minutes while holding them in my arms. And like while the crowd was like quite small and they weren't laughing a great deal, they were actually quite complimentary. They were going like, oh, he's good with her, isn't he? He's good with her. Because I'm just an uncle. So I knew how to pick up a kid and, rock them and hang out. I'm just like there doing stand-up for 10 minutes, What's the deal with this? Well, I've got a little toddler hanging off my shoulder.
Well, there you go. Sounds like you definitely have a babysitter then,
maybe
Ben.
I will cancel the babysitter. That should be fun.
Yeah. I'll look after them, yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Michael. It's been really lovely to have you, and thanks for hitting us up. Ben will be at your show on the weekend. There's still tickets available, I believe.
I imagine I try not to look at what the sales are, but yeah, if you want to come down, it's adelaidefringe.com.au. Just type in Michael Chamberlain, or actually maybe people often spell Chamberlain spelled differently. We're CHAM, and then Berlin is in the city. Maybe type in history or football. And that'll show up. But yeah, feel free to come along. It's a lot of fun.
We'll put a link in the show notes for the tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Thanks for having me on, guys. It's very kind of you.
No, thanks so much, and enjoy your Hawks season. I hope the Hawk ball goes well for you, but not too well.
Yeah, no.
Because Crow ball's coming.
Well, yeah, we've only faced each other a couple of times in the final, so it would get a nice little. I love the idea with the you probably want me to go away, but I love the idea of the Hawthorn-Port Adelaide rivalry, which I think is actually now a rivalry with the Hinkley-Ginnivan thing at the end of last year, and then in the AFLW, Port beat the Hawks by a point in the semi, knocked us out straight sets. But I love the idea that the AFL said to Ken Hinkley, hey, that's bad. That's a $20,000 fine. Don't you ever do that again. By the way, at Gather Round, we're going to make it the showcase game on the Sunday night. You've learnt your lesson.
They love it.
Thanks for the revenue raising.
I think Guinea's going to get the last laugh in that one with Hinkley having his final year this year. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. Oh, thank you so much, guys. Very kind of you.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks,
Take
Michael.
it easy.
Cheers.
Thank you. Have fun.
Oh, thanks so much, Michael. It was really great to have you on. Season predictions. Let's go, people. All right, what have you got for me? Who is going to be
When are we doing my segment?
after this?
Okay.
Who's going to be the Premiers 2025, Sam?
Fremantle.
Whoa.
Dan?
I've gone with Brisbane back to back.
Ooh, Ben?
No confidence, but GWS.
All right, I'm going Geelong. I reckon they're going to make a comeback. I reckon Bailey Smith's going to be the key.
I just do not want that. Just praying
Who
that
are
doesn't happen.
who are your Premier playing? Who's the runner-up?
Collingwood.
Oh, rank. Dan?
I've actually gone with your favourite Geelong
Oh,
as
yeah?
the runner-up for that
Another
Bailey Smith
rematch.
factor.
Another rematch?
Yeah.
There you go. I had Freo, and I had it also that we'd have another investigation into Victoria not making the grand final 2 years in a
Oh,
row.
right. I had GWS. I reckon it's going to be a GWS, Geelong. GF. Do you know what, though? That was actually really hard to decide
Yeah.
because I just really have no idea.
No.
I like to think Brisbane could do it again, but I also don't want them to.
Yeah.
They've had enough.
Yeah.
They have.
Top 8.
Oh, like where we going to be, or the top 8 total in total?
Well, I've just got
that might
top
get
8.
very boring for people
Yeah,
if we go
look,
through all them.
I've written, here's my idea. I'll just give you one. Geelong, GWS, Brisbane, Fremantle, Adelaide, Carlton, Essendon, Western Bulldogs.
Yeah,
Essendon.
everyone's putting us in there.
I don't reckon Hawthorn are going to make it.
I have got mine here if you want. It's Brisbane, Geelong, Freo, Collingwood, GWS, Carlton, Crows, and Hawk.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hawthorn missed it.
And I've got mine whether you want it or not as well. So
Oh, damn it. I was trying. I said that was a bad idea because I haven't done it.
so I have GWS, Freo, Brisbane, Sydney, Adelaide, Collingwood, Hawthorn, Carlton.
I knew what you were
So
doing,
no
Sam.
Port. Everyone's got Port out of the 8 then. I think
Yes.
they're definitely going to have a
I
big
feel
drop
like
off.
a lot went their way last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think their window's closed, honestly. I think it's done.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Where do you think have Crows finishing? I'm going to go balls out. We're finishing
Balls
5th.
out.
5th.
Keep
Yeah.
the balls in, Lauren.
Sam?
9th.
7th.
Ben?
I'm not sure what my balls are doing, but I also had 5th.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the Brownlow?
Oh, I didn't actually put this in.
Sam,
Sorry.
Dan?
you had one job
Sorry.
apart from
Dan,
all the
you want-
technology.
Dacos.
Jason Horn-Francis.
That's gross.
I've heard a rumour that Dacos already has 30 votes. So
Yeah.
It's a handicap.
that's who
Nick
I've got.
Dacos is also my pick. Who have you got for the Coleman?
He hasn't got
Larky.
this.
Oh, yeah?
Jesse Hogan again.
Okay.
I had Lucky.
I'm going Kerno, making a comeback.
Oh, I just don't want that to happen.
Well, neither do I, but that's what I'm predicting.
When's he going to start playing though? He hasn't started yet.
No.
I don't
Is he
know.
out for a bit?
Yeah, I'm not sure how long he's out for.
Oh, I didn't look that up. All right, who's going to be the rising star?
Sid Draper? Nah, probably not.
No, I'm calling it Sid
Oh, yeah?
Draper, I reckon, yeah.
Levi Ashcroft.
Ugh, boring. Ben?
It might be that Melbourne one.
Don't really want to say now.
Did you always have Levi?
I heard it was boring, but
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
it's a bit boring.
Well, yeah.
He better play good.
He will.
Club champion. I think surely we've got the same
It's gonna be
person written
boring.
down.
Dawson. Yeah.
Surely it's Dawson again.
Dawson.
I've got a Smokey and Saligo.
Hey.
Actually, that's a good call,
After
Ben.
that Port Adelaide game.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
hope
that
so.
is a good call. I just think Dawson's
Nah,
just...
it's a bad call, actually. Dawson's clearly going to win.
Yeah, I think he's just... He's just...
Look at him. Time will tell, Samuel.
Well, who have you got for the club leading goal kicker?
Oh, I don't. You have to pick Filthy, don't you?
Yeah, I've actually gone filthy as well.
I had Fogarty on 55 with Thilthorpe on 53.
Whoa, you've got numbers.
I've gone the Mosquito Fleet, Josh Rochelle. I reckon he might kick a few this year. I reckon... I've got a feeling that maybe our small forwards are going to kick more goals than the big ones this year.
I reckon it'll be a fair spread of the little ones, so
Yeah.
the big guys will get the higher number in general.
Well, we will see.
We will.
And how many Crows wins total do you think we're going to have at the end of this season?
11.
11. That's it.
Well, I said we'd finish 9, so I can't go too much more.
I'm going 13.
Ben?
Well, after my extensive process, I came out with 14 wins.
Okay, well, I went 16.
Oh, my God.
I'm confident.
You've literally jinxed the entire season by saying 16, I reckon.
Someone's got to be confident. Come on.
Yeah,
16, would that be unlucky to still finish 5th?
probably. I think that'd be
a
top 4, wouldn't
Be
it?
a top 4 sort of win.
Yeah.
I don't work out the maths when I'm doing
Okay.
these
All right.
predictions, Ben.
Gotcha.
That seems like too much work. I just make it up as I go along.
Mhm.
Anyway, what else have we got there?
Oh,
Lost
Harvey
my sheet.
Langford was who I was thinking of. Nuz, you were correct. For the Rising Star.
Mm.
He's a fair beast, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Good guy.
Mm.
Geez, I tell you what, there's been some unlucky injury runs for a lot of teams, except for ours, knock on wood. How's our chances against St Kilda? I guess we'll talk about that next week. Maybe we should go to your segment now.
I've got lots, actually.
Let's go.
Yeah? All right. Oh, I didn't even...
If you want to know what's in the spring, get into Rowan Jarman.
I've got a bit of general like Crows content in here as well, so hopefully to spur on some discussion. So you better listen, Dan.
Yes.
New football commentators were listed. Does anyone care about them?
No.
Fox Thursday, Friday night combos are pretty intriguing. Matt Hill's going to be doing every Thursday night, and Hutto and Jared Waitley on Friday nights together, which should be pretty interesting, I think. And because Fox is doing all their own commentary now, so we don't have to listen to BT at all to watch the football, which is a massive improvement.
Or James Brayshaw.
Or James Brayshaw.
That's the one I'm most
BT.
relieved about, to be
Yeah.
honest.
BT is still the Friday game.
I think so. Yeah. I just think, that Fox doing it is just going to be a massive improvement because Channel 7's commentators give me the shits.
Yep.
And it should look better.
Even with their new inclusion, Kane's on there.
Kane's on there. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Like Hutchie's.
There should be a mute Kane button.
Yeah.
Like press red to mute Kane.
He's not going to do any. He's not
just
going
doing
to do
special
games.
comments and
He's
stuff.
doing special
I
comments.
think so.
Yeah, okay.
He has some game time. Yeah.
It's there is a role there, but it's not the commentating, thank God.
Yeah,
So
okay.
It'll be minimal.
I didn't know whether to put this in good or bad, so I just put it in generally. I thought we'd mention the food changes at that we got some insight into
Oh, yeah.
at Adelaide Oval.
Yes.
So out Balfour's, Sunter, CC and dry cans. In, as Jason put it, Slurm, which is
Yes.
hard solo,
Lemon lime, hard solo.
rated.
Yeah.
And Jack Daniels, Cruisers and Villies.
Villies.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Balfour's
Villies.
out, Villies in.
Oh,
That's a big in.
that is next level.
That's
That's
like
a level up.
That's
for me.
like
So
that's
You are looking like you're not happy with this.
Oh, I just don't like either of them, but it is an upgrade.
Well, yeah, it's the better of the two.
it's
Yeah.
like out Lucky
I-
Murphy and Nibbler, really.
I'd look forward to a pie at the footy if it's Billy's. I wouldn't with Balfour's.
Are you going to have one every week?
We'll see if I can fit it with my hot cinnamon donut.
I'm definitely happy about that because I love a sausage roll, and the Balfour sausage rolls are fucking crap.
Yeah, right.
So the,
So are
the
their
pastry
square
on the Villies
pies.
is so much better.
And Villies do a Kransky as well, I think.
Yes, they
oh
do.
my god, they did the chili cheese Kransky so good.
Will that be at the ground, do you reckon?
I don't have that insight.
I don't see why not. Yeah, Vardy, no Sunter. I know people are devil about the Sunter, but it's all right.
Yeah,
Get a
I know.
Villies
My
sausage
mate
roll.
Matt's not happy about Sunter going either.
Well, we don't even sit near a Sunter.
No, it's completely opposite side of the ground.
Yeah, so who cares? We don't
Yeah.
care. It's almost like is the Ben and Jerry's still going to be there?
Yes. It's just what you want, isn't it? On a 5-degree
Or did
evening at
Sun-
Adelaide
did
Oval.
I'll
Take
take it.
over
That's
that?
still there.
Probably.
Is the Ben and Jerry's still there? Can
Was that
someone
what-
confirm?
Was that what you whinged about the other year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Jawsome.
Isn't that what you want?
Mr. Jawsome's just said the Villy dogs are great, but their pies are awful. I would beg to differ. I think
Yeah.
the goulash pie is delicious.
Chicken pies all the time.
Yeah, the goulash pie is so good.
You guys know way more about Villies than I do.
I don't really eat pies full stop these days.
Don't you? Oh, 'cause,
Gluten-free.
yeah, you're fake.
That's one thing
gluten-free.
they haven't got right with gluten-free yet. Pies.
Quirky said, as long as I can get my vindaloo, I'm good.
Oh, don't get me started
Beyond
on curry at
vindaloo's
the
not
football.
going anywhere. What do you mean? What's
Curry,
wrong with
it's
that?
the dumbest food at the football.
Oh, mate, you are
It's in a
throwing
bowl.
down.
I'm
Who
not calling
cares?
quirky dumb. It's just
Friend of the pod, Jason
I reckon
Morrison.
it's a genius idea.
He likes the old curry sauce with chips.
oh my god.
That's yum.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm into
Sam.
it. Nothing better.
I just don't. It just seems like the least convenient food to eat at the football, especially.
Isn't it just in a bowl though?
If you do it wrong.
I mean, it's not like you can have a papadum with it. Really,
I've found using the supplied spoon helps.
It'd be wooden though, wouldn't it? Those things are gross to eat off.
Can't you just bring a fork with you?
All right, Donald Trump. I'm going to bring back straws. Bring back plastic forks.
All right, gonna carry on then.
Crypto.com is gone.
Now he's talking
Adelaide
about
Uni
bloody
is in.
cryptocurrency.
Well, no,
Jeez.
Crypto.com is gone.
He's talking about the
That's
sponsor, you idiot.
I
think that's a good thing.
rolling up.
Because then we don't have to listen to that or watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, actually, their halftime thing was actually good. It was the pie thing that was shit that used to go around the boundary
Does that
line.
mean we can't pay via crypto card anymore?
Oh,
at
God
Adelaide
damn it.
Oval?
I did that
Oh,
so often.
no.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I was going to give him a Dogecoin this year.
That guy, there's a guy that sits near us who I reckon, like, we've seen him a few times in that little unreserved section, and I guarantee he's paying with crypto.
Oh, yeah,
he's
probably.
like a big, shoulder man with a big chain.
A shoulder man.
Yeah, he's got big shoulders, and he's always got a gold chain and real
I know the one.
Euro
Yeah,
shades,
I
like
know.
real Euro looking
Euro
guy.
Yep.
Peter Andre,
He's definitely paying with crypto. That
I
guy.
know exactly who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, I don't. But yeah.
I think that's all my good things.
Footwear sacrificed at half price and equipment slashed to half price. Rowan Jarman's huge half price sale. Don't miss it.
My dad's going to listen to this podcast purely for this line because it's one of his ideas.
Yep.
Pockets too small on pants or shorts. You know when you buy pants and
Yeah.
you just got those really shallow pockets, you get in the car and your phone just falls straight out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Not good. Not good.
Bad design.
Just awful.
Make
isn't
him the
it?
whole length of the pant. Like you might as well.
To go right down. I don't know if that's better.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's not falling out.
Well,
but,
okay, not the whole length, but you know,
yeah.
like at least arm length.
Yeah, it's obviously cost saving, but it's very irritating. Anyway, we'll put that in there.
That's pretty left.
Thanks for that
left,
one, Mr.
left
Marnie.
field.
Yeah, he'll be happy I brought it up, I reckon. Josh Rochelle getting a bit of money from Adelaide Hills Toyota. Did anyone see that?
Jump on board, mate. Get on that spawn train.
Some lovely pictures of him sitting in his new whatever that was.
Is he the
Prado
new
or something?
Is he the new Saloni? Is
I think he might. I reckon he might be.
No,
yeah,
they
I think we need to
they
keep an
all
eye on
are.
this. We just need to keep an eye on Josh Rochelle.
Yeah.
I
Well,
reckon
so
he's.
Josh has signed up as the Toyota up there rep, and I think Solly has as well somewhere
Oh,
else.
has he?
So they're everywhere.
Okay, all right. Injuries in general in the AFL. There's some big stars that are missing a bit of
Big
early
stars
football.
and like one of the big draft picks as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Jagger Smith. That's just
Yeah, that's a
absolutely
shocker.
so sad.
Yeah, not good. And knocked out a few unhappy people in our draft league that we did the other night, which not ideal. Yeah, not good. Look, I've got a few other. I should have put this in the good. Probably the good. I don't know actually. Coopers are our beer sponsor now instead of Mismatch.
Yeah, they're not. They're only the corporate beer sponsor though.
Yeah.
So we're not.
Well, we never
getting
got
to drink
Mismatch
that.
anyway because
No.
it was never in the normal bars. It was only ever in that Neil Curley. Is it Neil Curley room? Or was that
The
other-
McGarry
room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
the one.
they've taken over from Gage Roads, not Mismatch, haven't they?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
'Cause
right.
we dropped Mismatch last year. We
Oh,
didn't have
to
them last
Gage
year.
Roads, the
Yeah.
stupid WA one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have thought it's good to get it back to an SA.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Company.
And
Yeah,
the
that's
best
true.
one.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing wrong with Coopers. Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
a good now.
No, I actually said that it probably should have been in the goods.
Right,
Yeah, before I started, Dan.
I was zoned out. Sorry. Big night.
But the
Big
worst
night.
thing, I'm never going to preseason games again.
Yeah, it was.
We mentioned it earlier.
Fucking annoying.
Yeah, everyone's intentions are good. It's footy's back and everyone wants to go and see football, but it's just not a very fun experience.
2,000 people at what is basically a suburban ground
Yeah.
is just not good for viewing footy.
No.
Like when you actually want to watch it.
Too hot. You can't see anything. You're there to sort of see how the players are tracking. You can't see shit.
You can't see who any of the players are.
Yeah.
I thought Ben had a different perspective. Did you?
Yeah, you
I
did.
did. I had a better perspective. Yes, I didn't go to the blow-ins end to park my car. I parked it in the southern.
He's
car.
very proud of this fact.
Well, the southern car park.
You're
gets
coming in a
you-
totally different direction, aren't you? Isn't that why?
It would not be that hard to get to the southern car park.
Wow.
It would have. You would have parked a lot closer, and you would have had access to the hill where you can actually get some perspective. That
I
word.
thought you were saying vasectomy there.
Well,
Like,
Oh,
they did have a lot on the hill, but
No
I didn't see
comment.
that. So, but the my end,
I don't want to hear about your end anymore.
the southern end.
And didn't he whinge when we asked him to come round our side?
Yeah, well, we had all the food up there, and I think that's what I didn't like about the way they'd set it up, is they had the kids zone and nothing else up one end, and then you had the food all up the other end.
Yeah.
And there was only one way to get around the ground. They blocked off being able to walk behind.
Yeah,
That was so
stadium.
dumb. We would have come around your side if we didn't have to walk around the entire ground.
If it wasn't
So
for
we
going
made
around the
you
total
bring your
ground,
3 kids around.
We weren't actually that far away. Yeah, thanks for the making me schlep it all the way there. That's fantastic.
It was also Ben's birthday that night.
Oh, it was
happy
too.
birthday, Ben.
That was
yeah,
his present.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Claire didn't make us cake this
They're
time.
like, no, we're going home soon, blah, blah, blah. I was
Did
like,
you get a zinger stacker on the way home though?
what did we do? No.
Oh, you went to Prancing Pony. Did you actually do that?
No, we didn't do that.
Oh.
No. I had a 10-year-old saying he desperately wanted a double quarter pounder, so that's what we had to do.
Desperately.
Double quarter pounder.
Yeah.
Can't even eat one of those.
Yeah. I thought you were saying it should have been naturally just a half pounder, but okay.
It's like, wow, Henry, you're a beast.
He's starting to get a bit of his father's appetite. So
I can imagine.
Yes, but no, I thought so you had a long wait for your pizza. We got I think it was like a pulled pork burger with coleslaw. It was pretty delicious, only about $12. Had a really good experience.
Yeah,
I think
well.
you just darted out with where you stood.
Oh, we are 100% just old and grumpy.
I think honestly it was the heat combined
Probably
with all
the
those
heat.
other things that made it worse.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it was just too hot.
You're parking in a dusty car park with
Yeah.
like thousands of other cars. What seemed like thousands of other
It
cars.
was
It's just like-
disappointing that the game ended just as the night got the most pleasant.
yeah.
So it
Needed to
was-
be like an hour and a half later. It probably would have been perfect. Yeah.
I just wanted to do one more good to add into the end of the segment. I went to a wedding last night of a friend, Chloe McGregor, who married her partner, Scott Harris, who I found out listens to our pod
Oh, really?
regularly.
Happy wedding, guys.
Happy wedding, guys. Congratulations. And friend of the pod, Scott Harry Harris. Thank you for listening in. If you're listening to this tomorrow or today, congratulations on marrying such a fantastic person in Chloe. So, yeah.
Adelaide wedding of the decade, I'm sure. Are we done? Oh, we've got a bit of social media, just a little bit. Yeah. I put out a thing. You weren't paying attention. You should press the button, the social media button, wherever that is.
Seamless.
He's looking for it.
Out of bounds on the full.
Alrighty. I've put out what are your season predictions for the year? And Roscoe the Bosco says cheese wins most improved. I don't know if that's an award. Mark writes Port Premiers. Yeah, prob's not. Yeah, that's not happening. Sorry, Mark. All right, we got some from Bozza. He didn't send in a voicemail because he's had a busy day, but here is his predictions for the season. Crows 3-3 first 6. Nick's in trouble at the bye. 4-33 to feature within a month. Scrape into the 8.
Oh,
We could
that's
do better than that.
That's semi-positive from Boz. really.
Scrape into the
Scrape
8
into the
is interesting considering the rest of what he said.
Yeah.
How's the chat going? Anyone got anything?
There was some good stuff in there.
We didn't really get to the chat tonight because it was all a bit of a shit show in here. But
Matteo
I
gave us
am
a question
actually-
earlier.
Oh,
you can
yeah.
actually star questions, which is, and we can go back to them on this, so
great.
that could be kind of handy.
Yeah, do that then.
Hey guys, thoughts on Tex's game? Not saying it was all him, but in my opinion, Brisbane rebounded from defensive 50 too easily a few times. Can't shake the feeling that the downsides are beginning to outweigh the costs.
He definitely didn't have, he didn't have an incredible game. I don't know. I kind of didn't even really notice him too much, to be honest. I thought he did pretty good at bringing the ball to ground and stuff in the contest, but that was really all I
Not noticing him
saw.
though, is that a problem? Because
I don't know.
he's a pretty imposing presence normally.
He's still reasonably important to this side, but I hope that we see some phasing out of Tex
Yeah.
this year.
I thought Filthy and Fogg were doing a lot of the work in that game. So you
Ben,
agree, Ben?
thoughts? Just nodding over there.
Yeah, I would hope that Tex would be our third highest goal kicker. Still thought Fogarty take on more of the responsibility. Having said that, though, if we have the speed of movement going forward, that's ideal for someone like Tex who gets out on a lead. So
Yeah.
might be that Fogarty gets the mark just outside 50 and drills a few passes to him. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see how he goes this year, how his body holds up, whether it is definitely this is him done or whether he's able to sort of push himself out another year. Don't know.
Yeah.
And if he can't get up, we've got another very large person in Curtin who can play a third tall.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Is that it?
Interesting. That is about it. Thanks very much for joining us this evening. We're going to be back next week to preview the game against St Kilda. Now we are giving away a double pass to the round 1 game against the Saints, which is at on the Sunday, 16th, is it?
Yep, that's the one.
At 12:05 p.m. I'm sure you're all already going, but if you need a couple of extra tickies for some fam or friends, get on board. So to enter, we are doing a player interview next week. I just want you to send in a generic question, and we might not read it. We may ask the question, but
I'm sure it'd be very good.
if you send in a question, you will get an entry. So ways to enter: send us a post on X, send us a DM on Instagram, pop it into the Discord channel, or you can email it to herewecrowpod@gmail.com.
The club gave us these. Do we know how good the tickets are?
No idea.
They're just in the nosebleeds.
They
could
GA,
be
top of the
anywhere.
southern stand.
Are you suggesting that maybe we take those and someone can have a
Well,
Western stand?
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe I'll come sit with you. But yeah, please give us your questions for our player interview. We don't actually know who we're interviewing yet, so don't make it player specific if you can help it. Or you can make it player specific and I won't ask it.
It is actually a huge episode we've got next week. If you take into account, we've got the player. We also have a huge guest for our another team's Nuff segment, which returns next week.
True.
We're recording on the Tuesday night. So, yeah, looking forward to that one.
Cool. Glad you've locked that date in, Dan.
Yes.
Thanks so much to...
It was Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yeah. We've agreed that with the said guest.
Yeah.
So I hope it's Tuesday.
Thanks for coming on board again. We can't wait to get the year started. I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a more fun season than next year. Knock on wood, please God, let it be more fun than next year. Just by the way, our buy me a...
What are we dropping off next year?
Last year, yeah.
What?
You said
I don't even
next
know
year.
what I said.
Fine.
I'm trying to... Please stop interrupting me. I'm trying to talk. Buy me
This is like when I host.
Yeah, buy me a coffee. Now, you can donate to Buy Me a Coffee, but I just want to let you know they actually do have a monthly donation thing now. So if you want to get on board the Here We Crow train and you want to help the pod, you can actually set up a monthly donation. So, excuse me, we can't offer you any extra content. It takes, as you can tell from the beginning of the episode, it takes every ounce of energy for us to do this. So we can't give you anything extra. But if you love the pod and you want to support us, please get on board buymeacoffee.com/herewecrow.
I finally put the button up. Just
Thank
in
you
time
so
for us
much.
to end.
Click the button if
No,
you
I
want
don't
to
think
do
you can
that.
click. You wouldn't be able to click.
Oh, you can't click it?
No, I don't think so.
What's the point of it then?
It's for people to know and they can see the link.
It looks
Very
tiny.
important. Yeah, it is tiny. I don't think I can make it any bigger.
It's also got the wrong link on there.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, what's Xmux? You don't want to buy them a coffee.
Don't buy them a coffee.
Buy
Thanks.
us a coffee.
Thanks everybody for joining us on the chat. It's good to see lots of familiar names on there and some new ones. So really good. Looking forward to a massive year.
And
Yeah.
episode 0 means that I get a pass mark for how well this worked tonight.
Yeah,
That's
the,
right.
the
Much
official
better.
first episode's next week.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Hopefully
That's right.
it will be a little less hectic next week.
I might even take away the electric border that was around
Yeah.
Michael.
Put it this way, if next week goes like tonight, I'm quitting.
It wasn't that bad. It was fine.
It's just infuriating.
Yeah.
All right. Great to see you all and looking forward to catching you again next week. Thanks to our guest Michael Chamberlain too. Don't forget to get some tickets to his show next weekend. See you later.
Bye.
Bye everyone.